Most revered Swami Sudarshan Maharaj, the Chancellor of the University, revered Swami Atmapriyanji Maharaj, the Pro-Chancellor, revered Swami Sarvottamananji, Vice Chancellor, the revered Registrar and revered Controller of Examination, all the senior monks of the Ramakrishna Mission and the University, the Brahmacharians, and my dear graduates and the parents who have come for this program. It's indeed a great honor, a great day for me. I have been thinking about this university. I was a brahmachari in PPTC for some time, and our Atmapriyanji Maharaj and we used to discuss about this concept of the dream of this university, and I'm thrilled, really feel thrilled to walk into this university. And I had a desire. I wanted to be a student and also graduate from this university. Then I was thinking maybe in this life it is not possible, I have to be reborn again. But by getting this degree, the doctorate, so I don't have to be reborn again. I've already, without passing the examination, the degree has been given to me. So Maharaj has saved me one more birth to fulfill my desire of being part of this university. It's a dream university for me. It's a wonderful, great idea of Swamiji. And my concept of understanding, of course, Atmapriyanji has given his life for this university and developed it, and the entire team. They have all done it, and the present G.S. Maharaj is also supporting it in a very big way. Ramakrishna Mission produces the sannyasins, the monks, but I would suggest that this university will produce rishis. I think all of you are, I want to graduate you as rishis. I will tell my concept of rishis and do it. So I gladly accept this great honor given to me. It's to my, I have been part of many of the medical convocations, including one with our beloved Abdul Kalam. He invited me for one of the medical convocations in Pondicherry, and I was with him. The first time I addressing a convocation of the other than medical students, but I am very, very privileged to be part of this program today. Just I want to share a few things with you. And I was also very delighted to see how carefully the vows which revered Atmapriyanji Maharaj read out, so well planned, and all that ideas which I had put are already there in that vows which he has given. My life and my work are not different. Of course, many things have been read out. I will not bore you with more details of that. Only thing is I have to say that to get this doctorate in science, I've also done a lot of innovations, medical and information technology, ICT innovations in the primary healthcare, and maybe that should qualify me for the doctorate of science rather than the service alone. Apart from that, I just want to summarize my work. I was born in a cowshed. My mother had a choice to go to a hospital and deliver. My sister, she went, but she was too tired to go to the hospital. So the taboo in the villages, though we are not a very poor family, they won't deliver inside. They will always deliver outside the house. So it is in a cowshed. And a cowshed has very good advantage. They put the hay, and all the blood stains easy to dispose it, burning it. But why I'm saying that is, today I am instrumental. Divine Mother has made me an instrument. We provide safe deliveries, institutional deliveries for 10,000 mothers every year. That's my own life, and that happened because the miracle happened because of Swamiji. I will explain to you how it happened. And later, at the age of 12, I went with my father to a village, and he literally died on my lap without medical aid. That day I decided to become a doctor, and rest of my life I didn't want to see somebody whom you cannot help, and helplessly the other person is dying. So I decided to become a doctor. But I had fairly good marks in the pre-university. I studied with great passion to become a doctor. I was in the top 30 for the entire state, but I was underaged. In my school, village school, they gave me what's called a double promotion. I didn't study third standard. From second to fourth, I jumped. So, but they caught me in the medical college. I had to complete 16 years by October 30th. I was completing on December 30th. Said, you come next year. Though you have good marks, you cannot join. You have to come next year. So I also had problems with the family. So I joined a flour mill. I used to work as a worker there, cycle 15 kilometers, and I used to get 110 rupees salary. And 3 months salary was my entrance fees to Bangalore Medical College. I joined with my own earned money and joined there. That was a turning point in my life. One of my friends took me to Ramakrishna Ashrama, Bangalore Ashrama, and that I wanted to become a doctor, but what type of doctor? That's where the mantra, which is also my favorite mantra, they alone live who live for others, rest are more dead than alive, is the first thing which struck me when I entered Ramakrishna Ashrama. And that transformed the love which I received from the monks of the Ramakrishna mission, especially Bangalore Ashrama, the senior monks, and the character which was molded by being part of that, the lessons I learned is something very, very invaluable. So I joined medical college, completed it. I wanted to work. Immediately after my internship, I went to Mayavati. I worked in the Himalayas with the Ramakrishna mission. Then I was in Belur Math as a brahmachari. And I had the unique opportunity. The then General Secretary Swami Gambhiranji Maharaj called me and said, you get trained in laboratory and X-ray and start it here in Belur Math. And I was instrumental in starting the radiology and the laboratory in the Belur Math. Then I had to leave the great order for various reasons, and I went to BR Hills and started the tribal development work. The rest of it you know. So today, this lesson which I learned, Swamiji gave me how my adversaries, my own being born in a cowshed, I think I have got more immunity than others because of being born in the cowshed, whatever may be the reason, and the poverty, but the Swamiji enriched me with so much of this that today we are able to provide, as was said, 1.5 million people's primary health care. Last year we averted about 600 infant deaths. We do a lot of pediatric care and child care, so we could avert them. And now we have also, last 2 years in the COVID management, we did excellent work through all our 70 primary health centers. And there was hesitation amongst our staff. So I was age 70, I went and sat in the COVID clinic, then everybody started coming. We had no absentees. All of them worked during the COVID period without anybody leaving the jobs. And we did a fairly good job and immunized more than 1.5 million people, and I was also, some amount of immunization in West Bengal was also done. Now all this was also, there was a development, all this outward, usually the impact of work is assessed by the impact on the society. But I feel there should be an impact assessment of what happens to the individual who does this work of Swamiji. I think Swamiji enriches us with tremendous transformation of our own personality, and that's what I want to share. I started working, identifying with 20,000 Soliga tribal people. Then I got the opportunity to work at the state level for 7 crores of people, especially for the poor. I was a chairman of the task force on health and family welfare, reformed the health system to see that good health care with integrity. There was a lot of corruption in the health services, so I was also an ombudsman trying to clean up better procurement. First time we made the doctors pay back the bribe amount they had received from the patients. All that I tried to do, and also there was organ trading, which were bad practices. You can buy a kidney for 1 lakh rupees from the poor people. All that I could, the inequities in the healthcare, I could do some reforms. Then when I identified with 7 crore people, I really didn't identify myself only with VGKK and Karuna Trust. I identified with the entire state. Similarly, I had the opportunity at the national level to work with, and at the state level, I had the unique opportunity of Suvarna Arogya Suraksha Trust is a government body. I'm the founder member of that, through which we empanel all the private hospitals and the government hospitals, and all the services are provided free of cost. So I established quality standards for empaneling the hospitals, and so it has given me a lot of understanding of how to provide good quality services to the poor. So that, and the national level in the various forms, and ultimately I sat in the United Nations UNA Assembly, and I felt I was a citizen and concerned for all the 6 billion people, from 1.2 billion to 6 billion people. This expansion was made possible by Swamiji's grace. And identifying myself with the universal life, identifying with the Virat, worshipping the Virat in every form. It's a Viratopasana. That's the worship which I did, and today I find my selfishness has come down. Raga, Dvesha, Bhaya has come down. I was not a humble man like Maharaj was saying. I also had a lot of anger, many weaknesses, but all of that vanished. And Swamiji has given me the wonderful character, which he himself said how it should be. The man-making education which was talked about, a strong, moral, service-oriented character, mature character, which can take responsibilities and face the difficulties of life. And that has been made possible. The self-knowledge, to understand ourselves, faith in myself. I think I had a lot of self-hatred. I don't know how many of you have heard these terms. There's Eric Fromm, he's a psychoanalyst, humanitarian psychoanalyst, very well known in the West. He wrote wonderful books, including The Art of Loving. So he used the word self-love, self-hatred. So self-love, do we have enough self-love? On the contrary, we hate ourselves. That's why we are busy helping others. So that type of self-hatred, and you want to show to the others that you want to help others, is no good. We cannot hate our lower self. We have to accept our lower self and transform it rather than hating ourselves. I had a lot of self-hatred. And with the Swamiji's idea of the love for the higher self, that transforms the faith in oneself, the courage to do, which I see in Atmapriyanji Maharaj walking with a chest, and the courage to do anything, and courage to be. All this comes from the Swamiji's the faith in oneself, and we need to have faith in ourselves. And self-hatred, we need to know more. Why I don't know, any of you have bad habits. Smoking, why do you smoke? Why do you drink? Why do you take to drugs? Or why do you overeat and become obese and destroy our health? That's because of the self-hatred. Deep within the unconscious, we want to destroy ourselves. That's why we get into bad habits. If you have true self-love for our body, then you will keep the body in a good, you have taken a vow, so you have a responsibility to your own body. Keep your healthy body. Don't hate it. If you hate, I think all the bad habits will happen. If you love your body, you want to preserve it. Every cigarette reduces 1 day of life. Everybody knows. Still, why do the people do that? That's because they want to destroy themselves. I think the self-hatred is much more problematic. And also, the second one is we have shadows. We wear masks. We have fragmented selves. We have different selves. How to do the integrated personality, a mature integrated personality. And it happened. That happens with the Swamiji's grace. We become the fit instruments to do service. A loving service, what was a service as a vow, as a sankalpa to work for others, becomes a loving service. It's a spontaneous. And I think the famous Swamiji saying, call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakens. The power will come, the glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come when the sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity. Every word of it is true. I might not have received the Pratyagatman, the highest self, but I call it ego awakening, just the mature personality which we talked about. By following, by character building, we can achieve this. And there is a tremendous joy. I find all my stress has disappeared. I have no stress now. There's a inner source of joy, love, and it expands. And what else you need? And that is the gift which we get by doing this type of service, this type of dedicating ourselves to Swamiji's cause. So whatever Swamiji wanted, and you have all these noble vows. So go back, practice them, and I would suggest that you should form an alumni. And when you fully realize and feel that inner source of what Swamiji said, the sleeping soul is roused. Maybe it happens to you during your student days here itself. If not later, when it gets roused, that's when we should get the Rishihood. How to find out that? How to discover that we have got that sleeping soul has been roused, and get this title of Rishihood is my dream. And Swamiji has given me that Rishihood today by working for the poor and just following that mantra. And of course, I also had my philosophy of life. As long as millions live in hunger and poverty, I hold every man a traitor, who, having been educated at their expense, pays not least heed to them. I mean, my education, today for medical education, government spends about nearly maybe 8 to 10 crores. So where does this money come from? Taxpayers' money. So we get educated. It's our duty to give it back to society. It's not something else. Similarly, the knowledge you have got, you have to share it with others. If you keep on accumulating, giving, the joy of giving, sacrifice, yajna, the Virat yajna, if we can do, and keep on giving, that's what Swamiji wanted, and Virat Upasana, I think our lives will be fulfilled, and we can achieve this, that sleeping soul will be raised. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and I thank the Swamiji for it.